gentler than a washcloth in water, as comforting as a lover's caress, ephemeral like a forgotten summer breeze from childhood. You can never recapture those feelings you had when you were 17, but the dulcet tones of Matt and Seth talking about video game music might make you feel something again.
It's time for Bit Harmony!
You're listening to Bit Harmony, a video game music podcast, and I have no clever intro. I was gonna say something dumb like I'm evergreen Matt, but I really don't feel evergreen at all.
I don't feel evergreen today either, but I'm a blustery Seth, I guess.
I'm like that nasty snow with all like the gray sludge in it. That's what I feel like right now.
Oh,
yeah.
Matt. Oh no, that's no good. I don't. Can I just say I don't miss the snow at all. Living here in Texas, the snow is like cool looking, but I don't miss dealing with it.
I don't really deal with it here at all. Like in Hamburg, like it's snow. I can probably count on my fingers how many times it's like done a serious snow since I've lived here. Though it did snow for the first time of the year, 2 days ago. It was a very nice looking snow, but it's all gone now. But at least there's not the gray sludge snow everywhere.
Yeah, that was all Chicago was the gray sludge snow.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I grew up in Milwaukee, and I near Milwaukee, and I shoveled. That was half my damn winter as a child.
Dude, it sucks.
It's bad. They should have invented something. Like a snow machine, a machine that blows snow. They should have invented one of those.
Yeah, if only they invented one of those, and if only my grandparents cared to own one.
I bought my grandma a snowblower like a decade ago or something, and she tried it once and it worked perfectly fine. I was very pleased with it, and then she never used it again, and I was very upset about the like $700 spent on it.
Yeah.
Man, buying presents for family is just awful.
It
sucks.
Sucks.
We're talking about all this stuff because this is a Wintrier mix. And yes, I said Wintrier. We did a Wintry mix last year. This year, it's the Wintrier mix. We're Wintrier than ever.
Oh, I can't wait. I am in the mood. I made myself a cup of tea. I like this this black tea that has like orange and like cinnamon and clove. It's pretty like holiday spicy in here right now. So
that sounds lovely. I been drinking a lot of chai lattes lately, but I used the last packet of chai latte this morning, so I have nothing. I got water. Just continuing with that sludge feeling that I've got going right now.
Damn.
Speaking of not sludge, let's get to our intro of this episode. It's White Acropolis, and then in parentheses, Snowy Peak from Sonic the Hedgehog. That's Sonic the Hedgehog 2006. I'm sure we'll talk about that when we're back from the break. This was composed by Hideaki Kobayashi, Tomoya Ohtani, Mariko Nanba, Taihei Sato, and Takahito Eguchi. I have so many Japanese names I have to read off in this episode.
Can I just say, I think you crushed those. I think you're off to a good start.
I feel like I've gotten more consistent at it as the episodes have worn on me.
You'll learn to speak Japanese by the end of this.
But again, that's going to be White Acropolis, Snowy Peak from Sonic the Hedgehog 2006, and we will be right back. And that was White Acropolis, Snowy Peak from Sonic the Hedgehog 2006. Hey, the soundtrack to just about every Sonic game is great, but it's real funny that Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 in particular has this level of good soundtrack, you know?
I mean, that's the thing with Sonic games, but yeah, something particular about Sonic 06 is like, it isn't a good video game, but you can't deny the quality of the soundtrack. Like it's like they really did go hard with it. And to be fair, I do feel a little bit bad about Sonic 06 turning out the way it did, because like it sounds like that game had a really troubled development and stuff, and at least they were able to get this one thing to a certain level of quality.
Yeah, you have to remember for 2006, like the first generation of HD hardware, how much Japanese developers in particular really struggled with that transition. Like you saw it all over the place. Capcom, Square Enix, I guess Capcom less so than the others, but yeah, a lot of like mid to lower scale Japanese developers like sure went out of business in this era because of just how different the development pipelines for HD consoles look like. So yeah, Sonic 06 is like a notoriously, again, I'll call it bad. I've never played it myself. I've seen plenty of footage. I've never actually played Sonic the Hedgehog 2006. I will reveal, I guess this is a Matt lore thing. It's not really, but like I've mentioned before, I never really got around to owning a 360 or a PS3. I owned a PS3 very briefly, like well into the PS4 era.
Okay.
But at the time, didn't own either one of them. I was like a Wii and DS person and a computer person at the time. The one game that tempted me more than any other to get either a 360 or a PS3 was Sonic 06, because I was real into Sonic at the time, more than I am now. And I don't know, the idea, I'm like, oh yeah, they're rebooting it. Like, this is Sonic the Hedgehog. It's not called Sonic the Hedgehog 2006. It's called Sonic the Hedgehog.
Right.
That, to me, was like a marker of quality. Like, they wouldn't be doing this unless this meant something, to my, like, dumb 16-year-old brain. I'm like, no, this is probably going to be cool. It sounds like it didn't end up being cool, but I think it's funny that, and when I'm saying this tempted me, I mean, even after release, even after the reviews came out, I still kind of wanted like a 360 just to play Sonic 06.
Yeah, I mean, it's just too self-serious, and like the tone is all over the place, and you can tell they want to have a bunch of manufactured like Sonic Adventure moments and stuff like this, and they were struggling to figure out kind of like the gameplay sense of it. I actually think that like the shadow sections in the game are okay, and in fact I haven't played it yet, but from what I heard, they even like remade a level from this game in Shadow Generations or whatever, like in that campaign. Which is cool. I think even like a boss from the Shadow stuff reappears and stuff like that. So, and a lot of people want them to remake the game or something, or re-release it or reevaluate it in some way. And I would be open to that. I don't hate it or anything like that the way that other people do. It's just kind of it was the beginning of the end of like modern Sonic, where for a while there, I felt like literally every year it was like Sonic's back, and he's here to reclaim the throne, and like it's just like and just it was bad just over and over and over again. You would occasionally get these little like glimmers of hope, but yeah. Anyway, but the song's good.
Yeah, the whole soundtrack is fantastic. Like that was like the main thing I was aware of. I'm pretty sure, in fact, it's funny, I think I have like a YouTube comment that somewhat relates to this later, but I'm pretty sure I ripped some of the soundtrack and had it on my iPod Shuffle back in the day. I remember like taking the bus to school and listening on my iPod Shuffle to the Sonic 06 soundtrack. That was what was so cool about the future back then, is that you could listen to video game music privately wherever you wanted and not get beat up by other teenagers. I will say I don't have that much to say about the actual song. It's just a really good, like, kind of like D&B one of these, like
Yeah.
a lot of that soundtrack is just super electronic and good. There's a lot of like vocal themes going on, but not all in like the butt rock style of like Sonic Adventure stuff,
Right.
like it gets more into like Daft Punk, like robot-y or like soft vocals and stuff. I really like all of that. The main note I have about this song specifically is that dropout at like 55 seconds, leading
Yes.
to nearly complete silence, and then back into the song proper at 108.
Yes.
So damn sick. And then I can also see that most people also agree with me based on the YouTube most replayed like segment on the YouTube player, because like everyone just keeps rewinding it back to that part from what I can tell.
That's always so effective. Like whenever a song does that, I just like it. Like if you just like kind of drop everything, kind of slowly wind it down, and then come back, like that just works like every time. I also love like I don't know, like the final minute or so of the song adds this kind of different like melody on the synth that gives it a kind of like, I don't know, just kind of like that anime emotion, sort of build to it. For context, this is from a level, and this really just sums up Sonic 06 in a nutshell, where you're trying to like infiltrate Eggman's base, which is in this kind of like Shadow Moses Island looking, wintry like robot base, and you do that by snowboarding down a mountain. And there's like an avalanche and like a giant snowball like following you down this mountain. So
I mean, yeah, that feels like callbacks to Sonic 3, where you're snowboarding in the ice cap zone and stuff. I'll also say that I don't know exactly how to explain it, but when I was listening to this yesterday and this morning, there is something about it that kind of reminds me of a Sega Genesis or Mega Drive song, but with modern instrumentation and without the the limits of that system sound chip and whatever. I couldn't explain it. I'm not that level of being able. I don't have that level of music vocabulary or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. There is something that reminded me of like old Sonic in this soundtrack.
Yeah,
which I think is pretty cool.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, I mean, like I said, if they ever do end up doing something with this, I would be down to reevaluate it. And one of the things I was hoping for this Black Friday was a good price on Sonic and Shadow Generations. And I don't know, like it's $30 on the eShop right now, and that to me is still for some reason like a bridge I'm not willing to cross. Like if it were for some reason, if it were $20, I think I would have bought it without blinking, but 30 is just like once you get there,
Yeah, for something that like you've mostly already played, like I know you'd mostly be getting it for the Shadow stuff, but like I don't want to pay 30 just for the Shadow stuff then. I'm kind of scared to revisit Sonic Colors and Generations because I liked both of them back when they were new. But I have a hunch. Yeah, I have a hunch. I have not played it since it was on the Wii, and I'm probably just going to keep it that way. And I'll just continue enjoying the soundtrack because the soundtrack is phenomenal.
Yeah, I got the Sonic Colors, like whatever it's called, the remaster of it, and I played it for maybe 2 hours, and I was like, hey, this game isn't good. Was it always not good? Yeah, because I remember it being good back then, but no.
I remember, what was that, 2010, I think? Like that was one of my favorite games that year. I loved it. It still had issues or whatever, but the constant curse of being a Sonic enjoyer. I feel like there's never any consistency whatsoever. I also think it's really funny that I think we've opened up multiple episodes of the show with Sonic music, but we've still never done a Sonic episode. That always makes me laugh. I like that quite a bit.
That could be like a fun little bit there. We can keep that going.
Yeah, we'll have like 8 Kirby episodes, but never do a Sonic or a Zelda episode. That's been my dream. You had to talk me out of doing a Kirby Air Riders episode for this in place of this episode, which I still think would have been a very good bit to come back with that.
Oh yeah.
But, did we have any other notes on White Acropolis?
No, I think I think we covered it.
When it comes to general housekeeping, I don't think we have a ton here, right? I don't think there's any new
No.
reviews or comments.
No, nothing has cropped up in terms of that. So
I will take the time to note here our schedule for the next, like, through the rest of the year and the start of next year. Hey, I'm going to be real busy, especially the first half of December. That's why this episode we were kind of going for something a little easier. Our schedule right now, and again, things might change as we go, but I think this is a pretty good set in stone. We can do this schedule is December 14th is going to be Night in the Woods. December 28th, Angeline Era. That while we're on break, Angeline Era did get a release date announcement. That's going to be on December 8th, I think. So we figure a few weeks is enough time for us to digest the game and its soundtrack and come back and talk about it. And then January 11th is when we're going to do our best soundtracks of 2025 episode. Originally I wanted to do that at the end of December, but there's no way that last episode, that best of 2024, was like 4.5 hours long. I can't do that.
Yeah.
We had to wait till January to do that.
And it would be disingenuous of us to properly tackle that episode so soon after Angeline Era's release anyway.
Sure. Yeah,
so
I agree with that. Also, Metroid Prime 4 is probably going to have a killer soundtrack.
Yeah.
We're going to also figure that out. And so, yeah. And one other note is that there will be no minis during this time. And also, we're probably going to take another break after the best soundtracks of 2025. It's just scheduling. My wife's on vacation at that point. It's a very hectic end of this year, start of next year kind of thing.
Yeah,
but
it'll be fine.
Yeah. Y'all will be fine. So again, December 14th, Night in the Woods, December 28th, Angeline Era, and then January 11th, the best soundtracks of 2025. Did you have any notes then on the previous episode, the Name That Toonski quiz show episode?
I do. I should, maybe I'll just put this out. I'll immortalize this so that we actually remember to do it this time, though. Maybe when we take like that little January break, maybe we'll actually release an old mini like we were planning to on this break. So we'll try to remember maybe to do that. Maybe that would be good.
Yeah.
But yeah, Name That Toonski was super fun. I thought it turned out great. The process of recording it was fun, and I thought you did a great job on the edit for it and everything. I thought, I'm really happy with the way that turned out. It was fun to do something new.
Yeah, always fun to just do something like completely different format wise. It was nice. Honestly, it was nice to not have to like analyze music for an episode.
Sure. Yeah.
It was real fun. So again, thank you, Fuya, for sending in that suggestion. We will definitely do another one of those at some point. I'll vaguely float this out into the ether that Boogs brought up to me that he might be visiting Germany in I forget if he said like February or something. So that might be a good time to actually do one of these. Like we could live record it with
That'd
the
be
three
cool.
of us.
Yeah.
A lot of plates to spin and a lot of schedules to figure out, but I'm not opposed to doing that. It was fun enough to where I'm like, yeah, we should fast track one of those, not wait like a year before we do another one of those.
Sure.
So, I know it was a lot of fun. Again, everyone sent in real fun stuff.
People loved it too. We got really good feedback on it. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it shouldn't surprise me, like, whenever you're able to engage people more directly, that's a thing that really sticks out and makes people excited and happy. Shouldn't surprise me, and yet it always does to the level at which it pleases people, I guess. I will note, I think if we do it again, I would want to have people send in, like, categories the same way that you and I had categories for each other kind of thing. I think that would, I don't know, I just really like the idea of everything being in different categories, but we'll have to figure that out later. But yeah, it was a fun time.
And I shout outs to that little bit where you had Bot Harmony deliver the Toonski just like a beat late. That still gets me every time.
Yeah, I know it made me laugh every time too. And then I had to adjust that because it wasn't quite doing what I wanted to do. So then I just split the Toonski since you couldn't hear the rest of it anyway. I just the Bot Harmony is like name that, and then a solid 5 seconds of silence, and then Tunski.
I just love the idea that Bot Harmony is like a physical presence with those other people who just like it just can't read the room, like it just misses the cue. I love that. We should shout out that for people who don't know, that little name that Tunski bit is not just like a bunch of us or whatever. We actually had like Sean and JB like sent in clips of them saying name that Tunski. Like it actually is representative of people connected to the show.
Yeah, I had Fulia send one in. I did one. My wife sent one in. If Presto wasn't MIA, I really wanted to have. Yeah, I really wanted to have Presto in there too. There was a part of me. I'm like, I could try and contact every single person that's ever left a voicemail. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Especially for something that you can't even hear at that point anyway. Yeah, no, I just left it alone. But yeah, I just like small touches like that. And,
yeah,
I don't know, show appreciation for the people who, or for some people who have contributed to the show.
Totally.
And whatnot. Speaking of people contributing to the show, we have to get back to our normally scheduled double stuffed Sean Capri presents the state of the Nintendo Music Address. This is double stuffed, not because Sean has gained a lot of weight while he was at Extra Life.
For this one, you've got to pitch it down. Like the laugh has to be like pitched down with like a tuba sound or something.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, Sean is still his normal size. I don't know though.
Trim, healthy boy. Yeah.
Extra Life did not change him in that way, I guess. It's double stuffed because, since we've been gone, there are 4 Nintendo Music updates to talk about instead of the usual 2. I will name them now. Animal Crossing New Leaf, Kirby's Dream Buffet, Wii Fit Plus, and Super Mario Party Jamboree. So I guess, as always, we'll start at the beginning. Animal Crossing New Leaf, composed by Manaka Kataoka, Atsuko Asahi, and Kazumi Totaka. This might be my favorite drop that they've ever done on Nintendo Music. Yeah. I love Animal Crossing music in general. The whole series has fantastic music. I know a lot of people hate on New Horizons in comparison to New Leaf. Now, I will agree that New Leaf has the overall better soundtrack, but we don't need to drag New Horizons down just because you like New Leaf more, kind of thing. But
it's still great. Yeah,
it's fantastic. 7 p.m. in New Leaf is that makes me tear up every single time I hear it, no matter what. I just think back to summer 2013 and staying up way too late playing Animal Crossing, going to the tropical islands and getting beetles and sharks and stuff. I'm not as much of a nostalgia person as you are, but I didn't realize just how much nostalgia I have for New Leaf until this Nintendo Music drop.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, it's a very nostalgic game. This was my first big foray into Animal Crossing. Had my friend Cody had a copy of the original on GameCube and stuff, and dabbled, but this was my first real exposure to Animal Crossing. And I put hundreds and hundreds of hours into New Leaf, and my wife too. This was the game that got my wife to get a 3DS at all. It was just a lot of good memories. 7 p.m. A classic track. It is funny how iconic just the hourly music of Animal Crossing can be. I'm a big I see you also have 1 p.m. Noted here. 1 p.m. is great. I'm a big 1 a.m. fan, actually. So
I can't think of what that sounds like off the top of my head, but I do love late night Animal Crossing music because usually as the night goes on, it sounds more and more wobbly and drunken even. Yeah. So I really like as that effect goes on. But I'll have to listen to 1 a.m. later.
You'll recognize it right away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
To know, I don't remember if they added it with New Leaf or if they added this separately or if it's just for New Horizons soundtrack on Nintendo Music, but you can listen, they have like an hourly Animal Crossing music feature built into the app now.
Right.
Which is cool and appreciated. Like, hey, I've been listening to like Animal Crossing hourly websites since I was like 13 years old. You know, like it's a great feature. I'm honestly surprised it took them this long to add that feature into Nintendo Music, frankly.
Yeah, don't they? I think they might also have something with Alarmo that can do that. Maybe I'm misremembering, but if they don't have that, they should.
Yeah, we don't own an alarm. It's funny though, my wife's alarm clock, she still uses an alarm clock and it is like on the fritz right now. And I keep making half jokes about like, oh, it's time to get an Alarmo, but I would actually be down to buy a Nintendo Alarmo.
I think it's kind of cool. Like if I had like a practical use for one, I'd be all about it. Yeah.
I think it's more the price because my wife is very down to just like, if that thing costs like $30, she would have instantly bought one.
Totally.
But for $100, like what are we talking about? But man, I might just get it for her for Christmas. I haven't decided yet.
That's a cute Christmas present idea.
Yeah. It's practical and something she would actually like. That's like the best kind of thing you can come up with. Next up, we had Kirby's Dream Buffet, and this is composed by Yuta Ogasawara, Jun Ishikawa, Shogo Sakai, Hirokazu Ando, Megumi Ohara, Yuki Shimuka. You know, the reason there's so many composers on Kirby's Dream Buffet is because they use a lot of like rearrangements or even just straight up lift songs from old Kirby games. That said, we did talk a fair bit about Dream Buffet, I think on the Canvas Curse episode like a year and a half ago. And I think Seth and I made our feelings clear that Kirby's Dream Buffet rules. Like, it's a super underrated Switch game. Yeah. Super underrated just game in general. I don't have like a ton of notes on it here, except that I've listened to, I don't know, like 7-8 songs since they added it to the Nintendo Music app. And I kind of forgot just how good the original music for this actually is.
It's great.
Seven Colors in the Sky. I was like, oh man, this is like a good little jazzy number here.
Yep, they got good stuff. It's a good game, man. Like I think I put over 30 hours into that game. Like I 100% completed that game. I really enjoyed it. It's also, and I'm sure we shared this story when we did that episode, but it's, you know, it's the one time I think I ever made you truly angry at me. was during Kirby's Dream Buffet. So yeah, this was a cool drop, an unexpected drop. Like it was, I love the feeling of when a Nintendo Music drop happens and I'm like, oh, like what? Okay. Like, so this was a nice surprise. This is kind of like the dark horse of this batch here for me.
Yeah, I would agree with that, though also the next one is also pretty dark horsey. That being Wii Fit Plus, composed by Asuka Hayazaki, credited as Asuka Ota. This is the one that brought Sean Capri out of the shadows, and in the Discord he posted like, I forget what it was, like, oh hell yeah, or so, I don't remember exactly what it was, but he seemed excited about Wii Fit Plus.
I was talking to him about it, and he was like, yeah man, like, he's like, I don't know what it is, but even just listening to like the song that plays when you would select it on like the Wii menu or whatever, and it would play like the little song before you even boot up the game. He's like, oh wow, like something about that. I was just taken straight back, you know.
I totally get that. I'd also add on to that I've never played Wii Fit or Wii Fit Plus. We just never owned a balance board. Again, I was like 17 when these came out. I wasn't interested in something like this. I was too serious of a gamer to care about fitness and whatever. But listening to the soundtrack, this is my first experience with it. Like, yeah, there's a lot of like goofball-y stuff. There's a lot of like animals barking and making noises, sounds in here, but there's also a lot of like Wii channel sounding stuff in here. Yeah. I even heard one song that was giving me Mario Galaxy vibes. I was like, what the hell is this? Yeah, no, this is fantastic. I'm always down to discover new soundtracks on the Nintendo Music app. In fact, that's what gets me most excited. I loved when they added like the Brain Age game on there and whatever. Yeah, this is fantastic. Again, there is a lot of like goofy stuff mixed in with the more ethereal ambient stuff, but the stuff in here that's good is real good.
Yeah, like Wii system music is, some of my favorite, video game music just in general. And, Wii Fit, it's funny. I'm glad I have an opportunity to share this story here on the podcast. I've talked about it in other places, but when Wii Fit came out, I never had Wii Fit Plus, but when Wii Fit came out, for some reason or another, my mom wanted to get it. It was like the one time my mom ever actively wanted to buy a video game was Wii Fit. She was, and to a certain extent still kind of is. She's, older now and has had several injuries since then. But back when Wii Fit came out, she was very into fitness and stuff. She went to the gym every day and stuff like this. And my mom, some way or another, I don't know how she heard about it. I don't know if she saw it on TV or what. But she caught wind of it, and I remember she approached me. It was actually kind of cute. Like, she was like, how would I go about pre-ordering Wii Fit? And for the first time, like, my mom had taken me to GameStop several times, to pre-order games, but I took my mom to GameStop to pre-order Wii Fit, and it was kind of nice. Like, on release day, like, she was excited. We went to, we picked up Wii Fit and brought it home and played it. Now, the funny thing about that was, if you've never played Wii Fit, you probably don't know this experience, Matt. It does an evaluation of you when you first start, because obviously it comes with the balance board. It has you step on the balance board, and it asks you a few questions, and it takes that information and measures out your BMI, your body mass index or whatever. And what it'll do is you'll import your Mii or whatever, and it'll adjust it based on your BMI. So I go to set up my profile on Wii Fit, and it's like, it starts everything up, and then it goes overweight, and it plays this like just fat person song, and then it adjusted my Mii to make my Mii look fatter. It's like, oh my god, dude. This is crazy.
I am aware of that because I remember seeing like Reggie demoing it, and then Reggie was called like obese by the Wii or whatever. Which that's great. I'll also say that when they added like the camera functionality with the 3DS and the Wii U, and you could have like the system make your Mii for you based off of a picture of you.
Yeah.
I tried that once. I'm like, I don't like this at all. I don't like this mirror, this cartoon mirror being held up to me. So I will continue to just make my own Mii at that point.
I think they even might have like because every like BMI result music has like its own music. It has like underweight and, normal and overweight, and then obese I think is one, and it's the same tune, but it's like various levels of failure as you get. It's very funny. Wii Fit was a huge deal, man. I remember when I worked at GameStop, like we eventually just had, a fortress of Wii Fit balance boards in our back room. We must have had over 100 of them at one point. It was crazy. So.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Again, I never used a Wii Fit balance board, but like my mom owned one, and I think literally never opened it. She owned a Wii, and she, I remember she also asked me about Wii Fit, and I'm just like, I don't know if you're gonna want this because I know how you are with stuff like this, and I don't think it was ever open, but it doesn't surprise me that the GameStop just had a whole back room just full of Wii Fit boards and stuff. I remember when that Ghostbusters game was coming out for like all the systems back then, and like there was a Wii version, and then people were talking about like, oh, wouldn't it be cool? Like, you have the Wii remote that's like, your what is it, proton pack or whatever it's called. You could aim. What if you could use the Wii Fit balance board, and then you like kick the board forward like the trap? I'm like, I'm not kicking this. I'm not kicking a scale. The hell are you talking about?
That's crazy.
I understand where they're coming from, but I'm just like, yo, it's a scale that like wirelessly connects to your console. It's not like a toy. Like, what are you talking about?
That's funny. I never heard that, but I can appreciate the sentiment as somebody who loves gimmicky things like that. But that would get so old after doing it like twice. Like I gotta kick this thing.
Also, you can't play it on carpet. Then you have to, or you have to like put down like a slip and slide on your living room so you can kick the Wii balance forward towards
What are
your
you doing in there? No, honey, I'm setting up to play Ghostbusters on the Wii.
Okay. Oh, makes perfect sense. Lastly, we had Super Mario Party Jamboree. This is composed by Shigenobu Okawa and Yuta Yamaguchi. I don't have too much to say about this. I've not played Mario Party Jamboree. I know you have. I haven't had, this is just 2 days ago. I haven't had much time to listen to it on Nintendo Music yet. And I've also heard some of it before. Like, I've heard the Mario's Rainbow Castle rearrangement they have here and stuff. And, I like the rearrangements of old Mario Party music they have here, but, like, nothing, like, really super stood out to me from what I've listened to and whatever.
I'll give a nod to, and I mean, this is pretty, just as a general piece of advice for a first-party Nintendo game, when in doubt, if you want like a good place to start, I would say staff credits music is usually really good in first-party Nintendo games, and yeah, Mario Party Jamboree is no exception. I think that is my favorite song in the game. But also, one thing to note here that's really cool is the Jamboree TV music from the Nintendo Switch 2 version of the game is also in here, which I thought was really neat. Like, this is a very generous drop. I think it's like close to 300 songs or something like that. And yeah, including like the Nintendo Switch 2 edition stuff for a game that is very successful. Like, Mario Party Jamboree sold very well, and so this was a surprise in that, like, oh wow, like you're giving us this, when the game is still pretty fresh. Okay.
Right. This has kind of continued the recent trend of them adding like 2024 releases to Nintendo Music in 2025, which, up until, what was it, Princess Peach Showtime, like that was kind of unheard of. And yeah, this game is only like a year old, like a little over a year old at this point.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is notable for that. And yeah, like Seth said, there's like 3.5 or nearly 4 hours of music that got added with this. So it is cool, but yeah, it's just so meaty that I haven't had time to go in and actually like sit down and listen to it yet. But yeah, it's cool that they added this in here. What are we talking then when it comes to grades?
I mean, like, this is pretty full marks from me, to be honest. Yeah. Like, this might be the best drop we've had for my money since we started doing this segment on the show. Like, I don't really see how I won't, like, I don't really have a reason to not give it an A+, honestly.
Yeah, I guess I'm kind of there with you. I mean, I guess it's sort of unfair that, like, these are two great drops packed together,
Sure.
Like, maybe separately I would be more so, like, A- territory or whatever, but yeah, in the spirit of Thanksgiving, A+ is all around.
Yeah, give the gift of Nintendo Music this year, this holiday.
Yeah, the gift of grades, of good grades to Nintendo Music drops on your obscure video game music podcast. With all that done, then, let's get into the episode proper. So again, I don't think we said this at the top. This is a follow-up to our Wintry mix. We've just picked a bunch of songs that either are associated with winter in video games or have a wintry sound to them. But Seth, I'll let you pick then from one of yours first.
Sure. I think let's start off with Noveria from Mass Effect.
Then I guess it's funny because I'm like, is he going to start off with like the more traditional sounding stuff, or are we going like into the weird stuff? It seems like we're going into weird winter stuff. I will also go into the weird winter stuff. I'll go with my Street Fighter EX 2 Plus. White Field is the song that I'm going with for this first one. So again, that is Noveria from Mass Effect 1, composed by Jack Wall. And White Field from Street Fighter EX 2 Plus. That was composed by Ayako Saso and arranged by Yasuhisa Watanabe. And as a little tiny bonus, because this Bot Harmony text came in well before our break, and that episode was so hectic to put together, I completely forgot. It's the first time that's ever happened. You have no idea how many files I was dealing with at the time. We are going to play this Bot Harmony message as a lead-in to our first batch of songs here.
All right, the Bot Harmony, bring us into the Wintrier mix.
Listen to the music. Music notes, emoji, music notes, emoji, music notes, emoji.
I'll give AI credit that the fact that he took a breath in there is pretty wild. We've advanced far too far at this point.
Yeah, we have breaths. You know, our scientists, you know, were so preoccupied with with whether they could add breaths, they never stopped to think about if they should.
Let's listen to this music. Once again, Novaria and Whitefield theme. I'm not going to read off that whole game title again from the Street Fighter EX, whatever. With Novaria, I've never played a Mass Effect game.
Yeah, I'm curious how you're going to feel about this. Yeah.
No, this was ill. Like, this was straight up sick.
Yeah.
This immediately got added to my personal video game music playlist. I feel like the Mass Effect trilogy is like maybe my biggest gap in like gaming knowledge. I just I've never gotten around to it. I think I probably wouldn't have cared that much back in 2007, whatever, when this came out. I'm much more susceptible to this kind of game now. This way more narrative heavy, kind of shooter RPG kind of hybrid thing. I think a big thing a big reason I never checked it out is because I tend to like fantasy more than sci-fi. It's just my preference or whatever. But yeah, I'm way more willing to check Mass Effect out now. My big idea, humans, we only have a couple truly great ideas in our lifetime. I keep thinking about buying that collection on PlayStation because it's like $6. I think right now it's like literally $6.
It's so cheap, yeah.
And I want to stream my playthrough of the entire trilogy and call it Matt Effect. That is my one good idea in life.
Oh, dude, you must do that. Like as your friend, like I just, I feel like I need to support you in this journey. Whatever I can do to help make that happen. If we could get like some custom artwork made of the logo, but with your name, this needs to happen. Yeah.
I've been sitting on this for like a year. I want to do it at some point. It's just, this is not a good time for it. But again, Novaria was so good that it brought it back to the front of my mind again. I'm like, I really should do this at some point.
I love Mass Effect. I mean, I love Mass Effect, but Mass Effect 1 in particular is like among my favorite games of all time. Like I love that game. And I actually did recently start up a new playthrough because it had been too long. I think I have maybe told you this before. I've played through Mass Effect 1 20 times. Did I tell you that?
I don't know if you gave me the exact number. I think you just told me like you played it a lot, but I don't think I realized it was 20. Yeah.
This was one of those things that like after I earlier this year received my official OCD diagnosis, I was like, oh yeah, that tracks. Because I just had a ritual, like when this game came out, like I was working at GameStop and like it just kind of became like just something about the world of Mass Effect. Like I just kept playing it over and over and over again. I remember my friend Justin, who I've brought up multiple times on this podcast, he was driving home. He was stationed in Virginia. He was in the Air Force and he was living in Virginia, and he was driving home to Louisiana for Thanksgiving actually. And he was like, hey, like, can you just stay on the phone with me? Like while I'm and I was on the phone with him for like 10 hours or something. And during that phone call in the background, I just played through the entirety of Mass Effect 1. It was just something to do. Like I would just do a playthrough like over the weekend. Like I have all of the achievements in all 3 of the Mass Effect games. And I don't know, man, like that world completely enraptured me, and there's still never been anything like it. Like the idea of this like continuing story throughout 3 separate games that really does genuinely build like with you. It's very special. Like there are certainly things about it that don't hold up to modern scrutiny, but Mass Effect is still like kind of a magical little thing that's never quite been replicated. And I love it a lot. I would be fascinated to know what you think as a first time Mass Effect player. So,
yeah, I feel like based on what I've heard from people whose opinions I trust and whatever, that I probably would like the first one the most because it sounds like 2 immediately starts pivoting way more into gameplay systems and whatnot. Right. Which normally I am the gameplay first guy for sure, but like I said, I've always been intrigued by the way people talk about Mass Effect's like world and characters and stuff. It feels like to me, it was really Baldur's Gate 3 a couple of years ago that really made me be like, oh, I should get around to playing Mass Effect because the way people were talking about how they felt about Baldur's Gate 3 characters, but I got to experience that myself. I'm like, yeah, I understand this. I do feel the same way about these characters that you do. I also feel that people talk about Mass Effect characters in that same way, and that's really what like spurred on that idea for me.
Yep.
So, yeah, hearing you say that, my buddy Colin has raved about the first Mass Effect in particular for decades now at this point. Yeah, I'm gonna play them. I absolutely will play them at some point. The Mad Effect will happen some point down the road. When it comes to the actual song, I don't have a ton of notes. It has that Turn of the Millennium vibe again that I really just I love, like with any kind of like sci-fi sound. What I realized specifically though when I was looking for YouTube comments, I didn't put this in the YouTube comment section, but what's his name? Matt Reg USA 210 calls this out in the YouTube comments. He says the song reminds him of Bruce Faulkner's music for the English dub of Dragon Ball Z. And yes, it absolutely sounds like that. And I love Bruce Faulkner's Dragon Ball Z dub music. And that's probably why I love this so much.
I didn't even put that together, but now that you say that, that makes complete sense. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's just like, I gotta set the stage for you a little bit with Noveria. Like, the structure of Mass Effect is such that, like, you kind of kick off the events of the game and everything, and then the game kind of lets you loose a little bit. You have kind of like 3 story planets that you can go to and kind of, you know, there's a bunch of obviously other little side planets and side missions you can do, but you have your kind of like main core like story planets that you can go to progress the story. And Noveria is one of them that you can go to very early in the game if you want. And it is this like, you know, like ice planet that has like a constant blizzard going on, and Noveria itself is this like station on this planet, and it's just so cozy, man. Like inside there, like it kind of looks like a concrete, you know, station in the middle of like a ice tundra, but the warm lights and like there's like these little waterfalls inside, and you can like look at the window and see the blizzard kind of raging outside, but you're safe inside, and it's playing this song, but like you can still kind of hear the faint like wisps of snow and wind outside. Like it's just extremely cozy to me. Mm-hmm. There's a video on YouTube that's like, you know, 10 hours of Noveria ambience or whatever, and I go to that fairly often just to kind of like live in that space. I love it. It is gentle, ethereal, but also has like a little bit of a sinister undertone. Like you've got those faint like bass notes underneath it that kind of, and Noveria itself, I won't spoil the story of it or whatever for you, but there is something pretty sinister going on there. It's a pretty dark place in its underbelly, and it really does like capture a vibe and a feeling. Like, yeah, it's my favorite song in all of Mass Effect 1.
It's funny hearing, because I also saw multiple YouTube comments calling it out as like cozy and blah blah blah. Because I'm like, yeah, really? Because like, yeah, it doesn't give me that at all. But granted, I haven't played the game. Like, yeah, sinister is like what I was getting from it, but it does make me feel cozy, but because it reminds me of, again, Turn of the Millennium, or Bruce Faulkner or Dragon Ball Z music or whatever. But yeah, if I were to analyze it objectively as a song, I'm like, it feels like something bad's about to happen. Like this feels more like an Aliens kind of situation than like a cozy time in space or whatever. But yeah, no, that all sounds awesome. I love, I don't know, that's a science fiction trope I really like, is like ice planets and whatever. I really enjoyed that kind of atmosphere. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Did you have any other notes about Noveria?
No, I'm just obsessed with the idea of Mad Effect now.
It will happen. I promise at some point it's going to happen. When it comes to White Field, this is one of the songs that felt kind of like cheating on my part, because if I'm honest, this doesn't really bring that much winter to mind. I mean, it's called White Field, and I did look up footage of Street Fighter EX 2 Plus, and it is a level that's in like a snowy field, so I'm not wrong. And also, I did see multiple comments talking about how, like, oh yeah, this goes on my winter playlist. I'm like, this is just a good ass like fighting game song. Like, I don't really care that it's winter themed. It just I have a whole bunch of this soundtrack on my personal playlist. I've always wanted to find reasons to play it on the show, even though I don't know anything about this game. And this was the perfect time. This was my time.
Yeah, no. What I really was fascinated by with this is I think that for fighting game stage music, I feel like this is like unusually dramatic. Like I feel like fighting game stage music is typically very like driving, and this is too, but something about like the main melody takes this kind of like minor key turn, and yeah, it gives it a real sense of like drama. Like it kind of feels like final battle music or something. And yeah, I was I like listening to it. I was just kind of imagining like Street Fighter happening while this song was playing. I was like, damn, okay. Yeah, crazy bass, in this, extremely good. And then I have it tagged at 221. It just like has this again, just very chill kind of breakdown that I think again is very effective. Yeah, this was great.
This is like maybe my favorite song that I picked for this episode. I just love this song a lot. Yeah, like I said, I don't know much about it. I know this was developed by like Eureka. Like it wasn't
this is the
Capcom.
Eureka one, right? Yeah.
Right. I have no idea what people think about this game. Maybe Phelan has an opinion about it. You have to write in about it or call in about it. But yeah, I just love fighting game music from like the mid and late 90s and the early 2000s. I think it's like a genre unto itself. Like I still want to do like a Tekken 2 episode at some point. I think would be a lot of fun. Yeah, I just love some good fighting game music. And then, yeah, the only other note I really had about the song, well, for one, I had at 48 seconds, just goddamn in all caps. And then also, I kind of like what you're saying, like how dramatic the song sounds or like climactic in a way. I love how like it's not a very long song, but it feels like it goes through a lot of phases. Like it has a lot of different sounds going on in it. And again, this is just like a random stage in this Street Fighter EX game. I don't think it's meant to be anything special. The whole soundtrack, from what I've heard, is just this good.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. I've never played the game either, but it gets you into a mood. It certainly gets you into like a fighting game mood. I was thinking about this recently. I was like, I should pick up that that second like Capcom collection that recently came out.
I've been thinking about that too. Yeah, it's got Capcom versus SNK 2 on it. I've never played it.
Me either.
But I've heard so many people say it's like the best fighting game ever made. I'm like, okay. Yeah, I'm intrigued.
It's Eric's favorite fighting game of all time, and that alone, I'm like, I should probably play this. Yeah.
I did get into the second beta for Marvel Tokon, and that's in like, I don't know, like a week and a half or something.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that game looks cool. Why are we talking about fighting games? I don't think they've shown off any snowy level in Marvel Tokon yet.
Yeah, give it time.
Give it time. Maybe in like 2 years when they reveal like 2 more characters finally. What do you have next for a song pick?
Let's go with Ape Escape, New Friesland, Snowy Mammoth.
Okay. I guess then I'm going to continue with the animals theme. We're going to go with Crystal Caves from Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom. So New Friesland. I also like New Friesland. Like that sounds like a Analgesic Productions like a town name or something. New Friesland, Snowy Mammoth from Ape Escape was composed by Soichi Terada, and the Crystal Caves from Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom was composed by Kaiki Kobayashi, and we will be right back. And once again, that was New Friesland Snowy Mammoth from Ape Escape and Crystal Caves from Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom. Yes, I know we just played a Monster Boy song on the quiz show episode. I've never actually played any Ape Escape game either somehow, but I've heard a lot of the music over the years and they're all fantastic. Have you ever played any of these?
Yeah, Ape Escape 1 in particular is my real tether to Ape Escape. This is again, friend Justin had a PS1, and this was a pretty significant game in like the my early PS1 diet or whatever. It's the one that I have a real attachment to. I have a real fondness for Ape Escape. I love the music. It's like one of those Sony franchises that I think that there's still plenty of room, especially after Astrobot. Like Astrobot has basically a modern Ape Escape level in it, and playing it was hard not to be like, damn, they should just like make a new one of these, man. Like there's still meat on the bone here. But I just love this song. Like Ape Escape's levels are kind of like, they go through different, it's like a time travel, kind of story. Like every level is a different era or whatever. And yeah, this is kind of like an Ice Age era. It's just great. I saw a YouTube comment saying something like, like this song introduced me as a kid to the concept of D&B,
I saw that same comment, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, probably me too, now that I think about it. Like, that probably is the earliest recollection I have of being introduced to that genre. Just, yeah, it's somehow, like, it captures the futuristic, like, science-y vibe that Ape Escape should have, but it also does kind of feel prehistoric, and yeah, I love this song.
Yeah, this is awesome. I think I basically added all of your songs to my personal video game music playlist this episode. Are these on PS5 now? Like, they have PS1 classics now. Okay, I didn't know if this was on there or not.
Not only that, I think Ape Escape 1 actually has like a native PS5 release. Like, it's not even part of the classics. Like, it has its own trophies and everything. Yeah.
Okay. I was always very interested in this. Like, I feel like it might sound weird to be like, I grew up with the PlayStation. Like, we had one very early. Like, I think 1995, 6. We had a PlayStation. And that I love platformers so much, you would think like, well, why hasn't this dude played any Ape Escape game? What happened was we owned the PlayStation 1 so early. We had one of the old controllers that didn't have analog sticks, and you needed analog sticks to play this. And we just never ended up owning one with analog sticks. So then by the time the PS2 came out and the double analog sticks were standard, I wasn't looking to play Ape Escape anymore,
Sure.
So it was just a time and place thing. But yeah, I've always been interested. I remember like when they added the Snake versus Monkeys mode in Metal Gear Solid 3.
Yeah.
And the fact that they brought that back in the remake
So
is crazy.
cool.
Yeah. That's so cool that they actually like put the time and effort into doing that in this remake. I've always wanted to play these, and I would like to get around to it someday. God, all of your games basically, or all your songs are from games that I wanted to play at some point. I've never gotten around to. Only just now realized that. The main vibe the main note I really have is that, I love the, again, Turn of the Millennium D&B stuff going on. And I even though this one is like way more chill and vibey for the most part, but I did like the little percussion roll into a slightly more full D&B soundscape around 54 seconds. Like, that genuinely was sick. And then the fact that they like build on it again around 127, really, really good stuff. I just feel like this should be the ringtone of a Nokia phone from like 2002.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Especially like the lead in, like the build to it, that definitely gives like a Nokia ringtone kind of vibe. Yeah, it's really good. And there is a snowy mammoth, I have to say, in the level. So pretty good. I'm a big mammoth fan. I like a mammoth. So
mammoths are cool. Boogs has never played a Pokemon game, but he loves Mammoth Swine. That dude loves Mammoth Swine. I mean, It's a cool concept. He's a mammoth, but he's got a pig snout. What's not to love?
Pretty good, dude. One of my main mounts in WoW for a while was a mammoth, and pretty good. I gotta say, I like a mammoth.
I never really thought that much about it, but yeah, mammoths are pretty cool. Even the original Power Rangers, the Black Mammoth Zord, or what was it called? I think they were called Zords, weren't they? That was my favorite of those. Yeah.
Yeah, mammoths are sick, dude. I mean, like you talk about like an elephant basically with fur, like pretty good. pretty good.
Is Snuffleupagus supposed to be a mammoth? What is he?
Oh, what? Maybe he is. Wait, did he have tusks? He didn't have tusks, I don't think, right?
I don't know. Does he? I can't
I'm
picture
looking it up right
Snuffleupagus in
now.
my head.
No, Mr. Snuffleupagus does not have a tusk, but like he is a furry elephant. He is like he's like a mammoth that was poached for its ivory or something.
Yeah.
is what Mr. Snuffleupagus was. I wonder what the backstory is with that. Like what's going on there? So this is coming from the Wikipedia page. His head bears resemblance to giant anteaters and mammoths, but he has no tusks or visible ears. So, yeah, interesting. Did you know he had a sister?
That sounds familiar.
Alice Snuffleupagus is the sister.
Okay, I mean, I know they called him Mr. Snuffleupagus. I didn't realize that was like his proper actual last name.
That's his last name. Dude.
What's his first name? Like Herbert? Like what's going on?
It's got to be
sister's name
something
is Alice.
normal. Yeah, his sister's name is Alice, and she's just like a smaller version of him with a bow. Is basically it.
Yeah, that does sound familiar. I think I've seen Alice. No, I definitely didn't know that her name was Alice Snuffleupagus. But anyway, yeah, mammoths are cool. I think Snuffleupagus was one of my favorite Sesame Street characters back then.
His first name is, oh my god, his first name is Aloysius.
Okay.
Aloysius.
And then Alice, his sister. So it's like Aloysius and Alice. Yeah, there you go.
Oh my god. Yeah, call me Aloysius. Mr. Snuffleupagus is my father. Oh my god, dude. This is crazy. Okay.
Between this and the Smurfs comment on the bonus episode that we just did, we're just learning so much about completely useless things that no one has thought about in 40 years. When it comes to Crystal Caves, I even was like, maybe I shouldn't put this on here because we just did a Monster Boy song in the previous episode.
Nah.
But like, Monster Boy soundtrack is super good, and like we just don't have the bandwidth to do an episode on it right now. So now I think it's kind of funny that like, what if you just listen to all the bit harmony and then you just eventually you hear all of the Monster Boy soundtrack across years worth of podcasts. I think that's a fun thing that we can try and do. When it comes to like the song, I also thought it was funny that we just did a Rondo of Blood, Castlevania Rondo of Blood mini episode, because the opening of the song just straight up sounds like a Rondo of Blood song to me.
It does, yeah.
I'm not sure which one it is, and maybe it's partially how like empty and sparse and echoey the opening is, but also the instruments they use in the song are insane. Is that like an electric sitar? I didn't know that they even had like electric sitars.
Yeah, it sounds crazy, doesn't it? Like, it gives it such a unique flavor. Like, yeah, that's, I'm pretty sure that's what that is, and yeah, it adds like just such a different vibe to that, especially paired with like that little like hand drum that I have to. There's not a human being playing that hand drum. Like that isn't possible, you know, like it's going too crazy. But I do like just imagining like some dude in a recording booth, just like his hands moving faster than the speed of light, banging on a little hand drum. Yeah, very cool.
It's like the Daddy Mulk, the live performance, and then the shamisen, he played it so hard the strings burst or whatever. It's like that, but with a little hand drum. I don't have too many other notes on the song. I don't think I ever listened to it with headphones in. I didn't appreciate until now just how like cavey it sounds. Like it is. It's very echoey, and there's like sounds coming in and out of like both the left and right audio channels. I'm a sucker for stuff like that. I'll also note that I love that the song kind of jukes you out. It makes you think that it's going back for just a normal loop at 157, but then when it comes back, it's like, nah, there's still more here. There is still more song to cover here. It's just cool. I just really like the song a lot. Y'all should play Monster Boy if you've never gotten around to it.
Yeah, it's a great game. I mean, between this and the last song on Name That Tune Ski, I'm like, man, maybe it's time for a replay of Monster Boy. Like, it's been a while since I played that game.
It also gets dirt cheap. Like, it's like $10 half the year, it feels like. So yeah, there's not much of an excuse to not play Monster Boy, especially if you like the music that we've played across these past 2 episodes. I guess then I'll go with one of my songs. I guess we'll go with like the one I consider the most traditional, kind of, at least for video game winter music. I'm going to go with White Ice Theme White Glacier from Bomberman 64.
Okay. I'll go with Snow Dwell then from Wild Frost.
So that is, again, White Ice Theme White Glacier from Bomberman 64, composed by Akifumi Tada. And then Snow Dwell from Wild Frost, that's composed by Paul Zimmerman, and we shall be back. And that was White Ice Theme, White Glacier, and Snow Dwell. So much white in this episode is what I've noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just love the Bomberman 64 soundtrack. I didn't realize until right now just how much like Turn of the Millennium D&B is in this episode, and that
Pretty
I keep
good.
saying the phrase Turn of the Millennium D&B. Yeah, I mean, Bomberman 64 is one of my favorite video game soundtracks of all time. I love how weird and all over the place it is. The more I think about it, I think Bomberman 64 might have been my introduction to D&B, actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I also love that this one kind of starts out, it does sound more traditional, like wintry level than a lot of like the rest of the soundtrack. I mean, even this song gets a little non-traditional wintry as it goes on, but yeah, I don't know, when it starts off, it almost has like a Kirby sound to it. But yeah, like 10 seconds and then just starts getting out of control. Also love that it's sampling what sounds like someone like shouting, "Hey."
Yeah, what is that? Those little vocal chops? What is that?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but it really reminds me again of like a Sega Genesis like Sonic song. I don't know. It's really got that vibe going on to it.
Yeah, it reminds me of like a Game Boy Advance, like a WarioWare or something. Just like the little, little vocal chops. And yeah, I don't know exactly what it is or what it's sampling, but it's good and I like it a lot. Yeah, I mean, it, again, just funky bassline, insane here as well. The big thing that stood out to me, especially at the beginning, is I forget what the instrument's called, but it's like this. It's this little instrument that is on kind of like a metal, like a bending metal plate, and you like hit like a mallet against it or something. It's the same instrument they use for the San Andreas theme. And I think that's what they use here. It kind of has that same tone. I forget what the instrument's name is, but I always like it whenever that pops up in a song. It I don't know. There's something about it that like it has the quality of like a bell or something, but like it's like a nasty bell. And I just really, I always like that. It's always a pleasant surprise. I was like, oh hell yeah, dude.
It's funny to think of like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, because I know what you're talking about. I know the song and the noise that you're talking about.
It's like ding.
Yeah, and they're like, yeah, we gotta get that in here. Go get us that weird, nasty sounding bell. We need one of those for San Andreas.
Yeah. When they were composing the soundtrack of San Andreas, they were like, you know what they used in Bomberman 64? Get me that.
When it comes to like also weird not weird instrumentation, but like unexpected instrumentation, I wasn't expecting that like harp sound that comes in at a few moments throughout this and kind of ushers in new parts of the song. I'm also just a sucker for like angelic harps being a transition, like in movies when they do that and the screen kind of like fades to white or something. I feel like I'm thinking of a scene in Little Nicky, and we can't go on a Little Nicky tangent right now, so I'm going to end it right there. But I'll just say, yeah, I like harps. I like harps as a transition thing.
Yep, love a good harp. This did get me in the mood to play some Bomberman. This was a party staple for a little while. Bomberman's a great party game. Like it's like if you're with some friends and you're like having some drinks, Bomberman goes down pretty great. It's a great game of like, no matter how, like if you're very drunk and you're doing terribly, it's still funny, So yeah, very good.
Bomberman all-time classic game series. I love the Bomberman aesthetic. I think Fangamer had this, it's a Bomberman 93 on the TurboGrafx is the one with the kangaroos that you can ride in the pouches of, I think.
Oh hell yeah.
And they had this light blue t-shirt with Bomberman in the kangaroo pouch. I don't know what the kangaroos are called. I'm sure there's a proper noun for the kangaroos in Bomberman, but Bomberoos, that would be pretty good.
That's good.
I ordered that shirt, and I think I tweeted when I got it like this is gonna be the shirt that they bury me in, because I love that like early and mid 90s Bomberman aesthetic. You know, people make fun of Bomberman X-Zero all the time, and I get it, it's deserved, but like it's interesting that they were like, hey, let's try something different, and they really did lean all the way into that.
Oh,
that
yeah.
with Bomberman X-Zero. But yeah, man, don't ever do that again. Like the Bomberman like 90s aesthetic is like the best part about these games. Don't ever get rid of it again, please God.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, there is something. I look back on Bomberman X-Zero with a certain level of fondness because it just is so dumb.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't, yeah, you can just leave that where, let that sleeping dog lie.
It took gumption to be that dumb,
Right.
but we don't need to display that gumption ever again.
Yeah.
I never played Bomberman R2 on the Switch. I bought the first one as a launch game on the Switch, and it was good. It wasn't anything amazing, but it was good. I always wondered if R2 ended up being an improvement overall or something. But with Snow Dwell, I don't have that many notes other than that this is just pleasant.
Mm-hmm.
And I made that note about it being pleasant after literally just 4 seconds of listening. Like, it didn't take too long for me to be like, oh, this is pleasant.
Just cute. Yeah, it's just kind of cute and cozy. It's like your hub in Wild Frost. Like, Wild Frost is like a roguelike deck builder, so you wind up kind of going home to your hub like between runs and stuff, and you kind of build it up and and stuff like this, and it's just kind of like a cozy, like returning home, kind of in the winter vibe. It's got like a lot of good just, I don't know, like woodblock sounds, good drum sounds, because Wild Frost has kind of has like a big like Viking kind of theme, but also I think that the instrumentation of like these Chinese flutes really gives it a unique flavor too. And I picked this one because like Wild Frost to me is pretty underrated as far as this genre goes. Like, don't get me wrong, it's no Cobalt Core, it's no Slay the Spire or whatever, but it's pretty good. Like, I spent a good chunk of time with it and quite enjoyed it, as far as these things go. Good art and yeah, great music too. So I recommend it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if the game itself is as like cozy as the art in this song is, like, yeah, it just seems like it would just be like a cute, good time. Like I get tired of like the gamer mentality of like everything needs to be a 9 or a 10 out of 10 masterpiece. Like, no,
Right.
we can have like 7s and 8s also, like at the very least we can have that too. And yeah, this seems like one of those to me of like, yeah, if you are really hankering for one of these, but you've already played Slay the Spire to death, this seems like a good alternative for you, just as like a snack or whatever you want to call it.
It has a there's a cool thing that the game does where I don't remember exactly what like the plot of it is. It's something about like there's some kind of like curse of like a infinite winter over the land or whatever, and like there's like some sort of like demonic presence or something about it. But one thing that's neat is that when you complete a run of the game, your team from the run that you beat the game with ends up becoming the final boss of your next runs.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, which is like a really neat idea, because like you obviously you built up that team to be very strong, and so you're kind of making the game more challenging on subsequent runs for yourself. And it was just a neat idea. The game's got a few little neat ideas like that.
Yeah, no, that's super cool. And then the only other note I really had was just kind of I had a lot of notes about like the percussion in general and how I always just appreciate when I listen to a song and the main takeaway I have from it is like, oh, that was some cool percussion going on there. Like I don't get to have that very often. Specifically, I just really liked that kind of hollow rattling noise around 42 seconds in. I love that like gentle snow, like that evokes like gentle snow sound to me.
Yeah.
Of like snow like rattling against like a like it's snow's hitting the window hard, but you're inside and it's fine. Like that's kind of the vibe that it gives me.
Yeah, just cozy. I tried to have a good mix of like, of like amped up and cozy with with this.
Yeah, I also tried that, and I didn't realize that it was mostly amped up. Aside from my last one here, are we ready to get into our last picks then?
Let's do it.
For my last pick, I've got Blackthorn, which is a OC remix of Stickerbush Symphony from Donkey Kong Country 2. That is originally composed by David Weiss, obviously, and this arrangement is arranged and performed by Hemophiliac, Prophetic Music, and Stephen Hewitt. And what is your last one, Seth?
My last one is The Streets of Whiterun from The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, composed by Jeremy Soule.
This is also, maybe I should say this is my first time hearing this song too, and I was also, I was not ready for it. I was definitely not ready for it.
Yeah.
So again, that is Blackthorn and The Streets of Whiterun, and we will be right back. And again, that was Blackthorn, which is an OC remix of Stickerbush Symphony from Donkey Kong Country 2, and the Streets of Whiterun from the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Like I said, I kind of felt I was cheating on a couple of these. This is my other cheat one, because obviously Stickerbush Symphony is not a winter level, but this super smooth, smoky jazz bar lounge arrangement absolutely is winter to me, so sue me. I don't really care. It was also...
Make your own podcast if you don't like it.
This literally was uploaded to OC Remix's YouTube channel as I was like looking for songs to use.
I was gonna say I've never heard this, and it was real recent, so that makes sense.
Yeah, like I literally was getting on YouTube to look up songs for this episode, and then this came up. I actually already had 4 songs picked out, but then I saw this was uploaded. I'm like, I'm just give it a try. Like, nope, we're kicking off that other thing. It was a real. The other song I had was a Kirby song, and then it became like a real which way Western man kind of thing, like Kirby song or Donkey Kong song.
Yeah.
You have to choose. But yeah, that all said, it is just like a super good, like chill, loungy jazz arrangement. So I don't know that I have like a ton to say here about it. I just really liked it and I wanted to play it. I don't know. If I was like a movie director, I'd want to set a scene in a movie to this. Like, Adam Driver's definitely contemplatively smoking a cigarette to this song in a scene somewhere. Like, he's got a scarf because it's winter, and there's like a single shot take of him walking around a lake and looking sad and smoking a cigarette while this song plays. That's the vision I have.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, no, this was great. This reminds me, and I probably mentioned this literally on the last Wintry mix. I don't know, but I bring this up as often as I can. My favorite thing to do if I ever go to, say a company Christmas party or something like that, in which I am in charge of the music, I will either make some sort of custom playlist of jazz standards and things like this, just something instrumental, or I'll literally just play the Vince Guaraldi trio Charlie Brown Christmas OST, which is incredible stuff. It's so good. Just one of those, like, if you're gonna have like, anything on vinyl, it should be that. It's so great for that kind of thing. And anyway, I say all of that just to say that's what this remix reminded me of. Like, it reminded me of like the kind of thing that you could play at like a company Christmas party and nobody would bat an eye or realize that it was from a video game or right. That it was an OC remix, so
yeah. That's my exact kind of like that. I love that feeling more than anything. Is like sneaking something like this into like an event that would otherwise not be playing this. Like, yeah, if I'm given control of an audio device this Christmas at somewhere that isn't our house, we're playing the Mario Kart World soundtrack or something.
Totally.
Like that's absolutely happening this Christmas. And yeah, same thing with this Donkey Kong Country 2 remix. It's just too good. It's so cozy and wintry, and I just liked it a lot.
It does something really cool. Like, obviously, I am glad that we found a way to get some horns into this episode. So shout outs to that. But one of my favorite things that I think is underutilized in some jazz is I love a steel brush sound. I love that sound. And I think it's such a cool way of incorporating, Stickerbush Symphony has that kind of like fading in and out background kind of like reverberated synth. And I think that like using the brush to kind of replicate that sound in a jazz version of Stickerbush Symphony, I think is brilliant. Really great stuff.
It's the coolest OC remix I've heard in years. Like, this is to the level of like, maybe I should go and like listen to more of their recent stuff, because like this is such a high quality that I feel like I don't get to hear from most like normal YouTuber uploads. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Like other people doing this, it sounds way more like MIDI and whatever, and that's not a problem. But like this really feels like a proper jazz song. It just happens to be a rearrangement of Donkey Kong Country 2, you know. Did you have any other notes on Blackthorn then?
Nope. Just real good. Look out, family. This will be on the playlist this Christmas.
Honestly, like, yeah, I kind of miss. This is the time of year I miss being in America the most. Like Thanksgiving, like through Christmas, and like part of that is, taking like 3-hour long drives to visit family. Because that's where this would most be getting played. Is driving through like the Midwest America on Christmas Eve to go visit family. I'd be playing this.
I'm doing
for
that
sure.
today. I'm doing that, later today. So yeah.
When it comes to Streets of Whiterun, as someone that has only played like 15 minutes of Skyrim in my life, I didn't know it could be like this.
Yeah, man. It can be like that. Yeah. It'd be like that.
When I was making notes for this, like my wife bought Skyrim on her account on the Switch eShop like 2 years ago. It was on sale for like $15, something like that. This song was so good, I almost just grabbed the Switch 2 and downloaded Skyrim onto it because I'm like, this is incredible.
This is the time of year that I always kind of get into the mood to play Skyrim. Skyrim is not my favorite Elder Scrolls game, but I think that, like, speaking objectively, I think that Skyrim is Bethesda's best game. In terms of, like, I feel like what Bethesda does well is firing on all cylinders in Skyrim. It's obviously like a super influential game. The soundtrack is uniformly really good, but Streets of Whiterun in particular, first of all, Whiterun is a huge kind of hub city. You spend a lot of time there. But like, it's so beautiful, man. Like, it's just like, we talked about harps. Like there's harps and just kind of like a soft, like, that main string melody is just so, it's like instantly iconic. It just like warms your soul. And then like you've got, cello, which I think pound for pound is my favorite instrument, and just choir, and like it's just powerfully emotional. It's like it's hot cocoa at a ski lodge. Like it's just it gets me, man. I get choked up every time I listen to it.
Mm-hmm. I was like, why the hell didn't Seth bring this to the previous Wintry mix? Where was it then?
I think I was looking for like particular vibes. And this one fit. Like I was literally going out of my way to be like, okay, let's get like too funky, too cozy, kind of thing. Which is my favorite Fast and the Furious movie, too funky, too cozy.
It's the perfect ratio of funky to cozy.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really good. Like I said, I'm always tempted to replay Skyrim this time of year, and after talking about it, who knows, maybe I'm stupid enough to get it downloaded on my Switch today.
Right now, I'm just waiting to see if it gets like a Switch 2 version, though. Even if it does, they'd probably put it out at like $40 again. It wouldn't be like a $5 upgrade kind of thing. Because I tried playing Skyrim when it was pretty new. And again, I like fantasy stuff. I wasn't as susceptible back then to like, hey, you're playing this for like the immersion as opposed to the gameplay. So when I tried the combat, I was like, I don't know.
It's not good.
I kind of immediately lost interest. But I think now, damn near like, 15 years? How long has this game been out? It was like 2010 or something. Okay.
Yeah, it was 11/11/11.
So yeah, 15 years later almost. And I think I'm like old enough. I'm an old man now, and I'm like, I kind of want something like that isn't so gameplay centric. I don't need like Devil May Cry combos or like Dark Souls punishment. I just kind of want like a chill fantasy game where I can like cast spells or shoot arrows at dragons and stuff. Like it sounds way more cozy and appealing to me now than it did 15 years ago.
Yeah.
The last note I really had here about it was I just want to buy a house in Whiterun, get married, and just become a lumberjack or something instead of actually playing Skyrim.
You can kind of do that. They did add some of that stuff. I think it's called like the Hearthholm or something DLC, if I remember right. You can kind of do that. Yeah.
You can also become like a vampire, right? That's
Yep.
probably the dumb kind of thing I would think was fun, is just becoming a vampire.
Yep, you could become a vampire. I believe you can become a werewolf as well if you want to. Yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff in there.
I think werewolves are cool conceptually, but I wouldn't want to be a werewolf. Whereas I can see the benefit of being a cool, sexy Dracula, you know?
Yeah, well, there's obviously a lot of like disadvantages that come with playing a vampire character, and it's actually kind of a pain in the ass. Like if you want to be like cured of your vampirism or whatever, it's like a whole to-do. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. And you can become a vampire basically by accident if you're not careful in Skyrim. So
that's how it should be, though. You shouldn't have full say over when or whether you become a vampire. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Did you have any other notes then on the streets of Whiterun?
Nope. Just had to make him cry once this episode, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've got only 3 Mass Effect games and Skyrim from this episode to catch up on. Those are the only games. I also Ape Escape. So 4 huge RPGs and a platformer. Those are what I have to catch up on.
I mean, honestly, dude, if there were like Xbox 360 era games that like I would be most interested in you specifically playing, it would be the Mass Effect trilogy and Skyrim.
Yeah.
Like
I said, I think I'm way more about giving all 4 of these games a shot now than I was back in the actual era that came out in. I'm way more into games and way more into elaborate like systems and numbers and stuff. Whereas before I'm just like, I just want to play Mario games. I just want to run and jump,
right?
Whatever. With that all out of the way, then the main thing we've got left is the YouTube comment oversharing corner. This is the section of the show where we read off any funny, memorable, interesting, or downright insane comments we've stumbled across while grabbing songs for this episode. Seth actually has more comments than I do. I don't know. I guess mine were just too weird. I don't know what was going on with my picks. So I'm going to have Seth start off with one of his comments then.
Okay. Yeah, my first comment here is from YouTube user MoonUpper6172, who commented on the streets of Whiterun 4 years ago, and they just say, "Don't you just want to appear offline sometimes?" Which already, like that song kind of does give you that vibe of like, maybe I should just, fade away, sort of thing. But what really, one of the replies really got me, YouTube user Misa Love You, complete with a Jar Jar Binks profile picture, replied, "Appearing offline doesn't stop it."
I love the idea of appearing offline because, not actually going offline, but appearing offline. Like,
right.
You click the eyeball icon on AOL Instant Messenger.
Right.
So people think you're offline. The door slams, but you're still there secretly.
Mm-hmm.
I did lose it with appearing offline doesn't stop it because of how nebulous the it is.
Right.
What it reminded me of is that clip, and I know you've seen this clip of, I don't know the context of it, but it's on BBC and the lady talking to like the dog puppet, and he's saying, we're just normal men. and then what you mean we're just normal men, and then we're just innocent men, like that. That's what this comment reminds me of, because it is all just so nebulous and doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, like, it doesn't make any sense, but somehow I do kind of relate to it. Like, sometimes, I don't know if it's just because of the, like, very perceived nature of this kind of like, online era of video games that we're in, there is something about like, don't perceive me, I just want to appear offline and just like rot on my couch or something. I don't even want you to know that I'm online. Like, that's how little I want to be perceived. There's something to that. And then like, to say appearing offline doesn't stop it. It's true. It's actually a pretty wise statement from Misa Love You. So
I'm gonna go to Misa Love You for all my like existential dilemmas from here on out.
Yeah.
He should start a channel that's just like giving philosophical advice, but with a Jar Jar voice.
Yeah, Jar Jar gives you advice. Yeah, pretty good.
For this comment, we've got YouTube user West Jack's Arcade PS5 commented on Whitefield theme 3 years ago. I assume that he means I remember listening. It says, I remember loosing all these tracks as a kid just to grow up and download them all on my PSP years later, before there was even a YouTube, LOL. I just added this on here because it brought back so many memories of when my best friend at the time got a PSP and he thought he was the coolest dude on earth, and he was like ripping all kinds of MP3s to his PSP. He was putting like Super Nintendo emulators on it and stuff. Yep. I remember, maybe I've told this story before, I don't remember, but the launch PSP in America came with a Spider-Man 2 on UMD, like a copy of Spider-Man 2 on UMD. And I remember he was like, one night I was spending the night and he's like, hey, do you want to watch Spider-Man 2? I'm like, yeah, man, let's go for it. And he takes out his PSP and I was like, wait, what that's a tiny screen, what are we doing? He's like, well, I want to watch it on the PSP. I just got this. I'm like, yeah, but we have the DVD. We don't need to watch it on the PSP. This is not a joke. He like rigged up a setup where he had the PSP like duct taped to his like overhanging shelf, and we sat at his desk like cramped together watching Spider-Man 2 on UMD. And that's what this comment reminded me of, and I couldn't resist putting it in here because of that.
That rules. It also, that definitely was a thing, because my cousin had, for his PSP, he had like a case that, it was like a pretty long vertical case, but what you could do is you could open it and kind of set it up, like propped up, opened, on like a desk or whatever, but it had like little space for you to nestle your PSP into and connect it to speakers that were built into the case. So you could make kind of like a little movie setup for yourself on like your desk or whatever. And he downloaded like a whole bunch of movies and junk to his jailbroken or whatever PSP. And we definitely watched some movies like that. Specifically, I remember watching Aragon, the Aragon movie that way with him on his PSP. So that movie, which inexplicably in the end credits plays an Avril Lavigne song.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my big watching movies on PSP memory.
I mean, it's just funny because like portable DVD players got popular, I feel like right after the PSP anyway, so it was a pretty short-lived thing, UMDs and watching stuff on there and whatever.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I have another comment here from the streets of Whiterun that got me. This is from YouTube user Beachball777, who commented 1 year ago and said, when you're going to Wendy's to get some chili and they're out of it.
So for one, I like that Wendy's is misspelled. There's an extra E in there. But that song is so like sweet and beautiful. I feel like this wouldn't be playing. Like that's a bad thing. Like, why would it be playing this song when it?
I feel like that it could I think be read as a like sad song. Like I think it could be read that way, as like a somber, oh man, they were out of chili today sort of thing. But I also think that going to Wendy's specifically for the chili is crazy.
So I agree with that, but I know people that did that. Like I grew up around people that are like, "Oh yeah, like it's winter, we're gonna like regularly get Chili's from Wendy's again." I'm like, okay, if you say
like
so.
I like Wendy's chili fine. Like I always thought it was cool that Wendy's was the fast food place that you could get like chili or like a baked potato, or like when I was a kid, Wendy's had like a salad bar, like a full salad bar in there. But like I would never go there just for like I better hit up the Wendy's and get my chili. Like there's no way.
I forgot they had baked potatoes at one point. Yeah, I do remember getting baked potatoes at Wendy's.
These just keep coming up on this show somehow.
Hey, Wilkins sent over the best like way to prepare baked potatoes I've ever had. It was so good we prepared them twice, 2 nights in a row. That it was
hell yeah.
fantastic. Probably gonna do it again at some point, and maybe I will have the courage to add tuna to it next time.
Oh man.
For this next comment, I'm giving you a content warning here. If you are someone that listens with your kid and you don't want to talk, you don't want to have a certain conversation about Santa Claus, I don't recommend that you listen to the show with your child, but I understand it's not like we say anything too bad. But
sure.
if your kid is of a certain age and you don't want to talk about Santa Claus in this way, fair warning, you've got a couple more seconds to turn the podcast off or pause it. For this one, we've got YouTube user Bowl of Soup for You commented on White Ice theme White Glacier 13 years ago. It was much more magical to look forward to Christmas when you thought a fat guy was bringing you presents. Those were the days. Also, it's a comma, those were the days, not even a period. Those were the days.
It wasn't a separate sentence. Yeah.
So, like, I don't remember exactly when I realized Santa was not real, but it was pretty early. I would say like I was like 5 or 6 is when I realized that wasn't a thing. I didn't really, I don't know. It didn't really bother me. I didn't.
Right.
It never. If anything, it made me appreciate my family more. You know, of like, yeah, these are from like my mom and stuff. You know, so I just thought this was interesting. I don't know if like other people have like huge nostalgia for thinking Santa was real, but I don't. It's something that doesn't really make sense to me.
Right. I had a similar experience. Like I don't remember when I learned that Santa's not real. But yeah, I don't remember it being like an earth-shattering revelation or anything like that. Like it was, you know, it just was what it was. And I don't even remember, like, I want to say that when I was a kid, it was like Santa filled our, like parents got the presents, but Santa filled our stocking or something, I think maybe was it.
Mm-hmm. Well, right, because yeah, the way my family would be doing stuff is like, yeah, we got you these presents, but then these ones are from Santa. I'm like, what is this like delineation? Like, who made the decision of who to get what? Were you in cahoots with Santa? Like, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Again, this isn't me condemning like parents like saying, telling their kids that Santa is real or whatever. I think that can be real fun. I have no issue with that. But I'm just saying it's an interesting like thought process. It's interesting to think about like what decisions you have to make with regards to all of that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how I would even approach it. Like if I had kids, I don't know how I would I don't think I would even like introduce the Santa Claus problem into our house, to be honest. I think I would just kind of, you know, leave that where it is. You know,
I think my wife and I have talked about this. She said that she liked having the sense of like wonder or like whimsy or whatever with it. But yeah, I'm kind of with you that like, yeah, maybe just don't complicate things. But at the same time, it could be fun or whatever. It's not Elf on the Shelf. That's some hot garbage. That we're not doing around.
Yeah, Elf on the Shelf is like weirdly sinister. Like you have like this elf that just like only at night moves around. Like
that's the kind of stuff that like instills deep fears into my child brain. So I wouldn't want that at all.
I'm glad my family never adopted that.
Yeah.
There's also like I'm not trying to get us off on a tangent here, I promise, but there's like this weird like adding like a personality to like inanimate objects that happened a lot when I was a kid. When you were a kid, did you guys do Flat Stanley?
No, that name is familiar, but I don't know.
Flat Stanley is a like little paper man that you like mail around the world. Like your class gets a Flat Stanley, and you like mail Stanley to, you know, whatever, Europe or something like that. And, you know, some class in France gets Flat Stanley, and they take like a picture with it and mail it back to you and stuff. And, you know, it's that sort of thing. I remember thinking it was cool when I was a kid, but there was something about like, oh yeah, Stanley went on a trip, and it's like, this is just a piece of paper. You know?
One of our classes in elementary school, we did do that. I didn't remember that was the name or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do kind of remember that now, yeah.
Yeah, so I remember he was like a weird looking guy too. He was a weird looking little dude, and yeah, you like mail him around the world, and yeah, people like take pictures with him and stuff, and it's like he went on a little vacation or something like that. Flat Stanley.
Like the concept is cute, but it's like, why do we need to personify it? Yeah, I'm
Right.
kind of with you.
I've got I'm gonna try to pronounce this YouTube user Dore Guy, aka Netty 6586, I guess. Maybe. I don't know, but they commented on White Acropolis 3 years ago, and they timestamped the 28-second mark and simply said, "Here I come, I am Cinnamon." Which is in reference to the classic Apple Jacks commercials that were in kind of like the early to mid 2000s, where Cinnamon was this like sort of Rastafarian personification of like a cinnamon stick, one of the mascots of Applejack cereal, and that was his catchphrase. He would always say, "Here I come, I am Cinnamon." And that beat that they tagged does kind of sound like that.
The really messed up thing about this is we've definitely talked about the Applejack's Rastafarian mascot on this podcast before. I don't remember what the context is. I don't.
How
but
could
we've
it come up?
We've absolutely talked about it on this podcast before. I don't know what it was. If someone remembers, please write into the Discord or something.
Yeah, let us know. Well, I maybe it was I do remember on a podcast talking about how they have completely like taken all of the personality out of the Applejacks mascots now. Like they used to be gross little guys, and now they're not.
We've had this exact conversation, and I'm pretty sure it was in a YouTube comment oversharing corner of a previous episode, yeah. But I will say I don't think like this specifically came up. I could be wrong, but I remember talking about the Rastafarian Applejacks mascot, but I don't think we talked about the here I come, I am Cinnamon.
Here I come, I am Cinnamon. Like it's kind of a fun little beat. They were onto something with that little tear of Applejack's marketing. Like I always liked it.
For my last comment here, we've got YouTube user Legend of Kai commented on Blackthorn 2 days ago. Probably the best way I can praise this remix is by saying it goes great with coffee and wine. Smooth, delicate, and easy on the ears. This is a cheap shot for me. I understand that he means coffee or wine, but just the coffee and wine is such a disgusting concept. It immediately, like, I had bile in my throat at just the thought of drinking coffee and wine together.
I can't think of anything worse. I can't think of anything nastier than that. That's pretty, like, if you were to ask me which two drinks could you combine to make the worst possible drink, coffee and wine is pretty damn near the top.
They are so far on opposite ends of the spectrum. Like nasty is the perfect word for it. And again, I realize this is a cheap shot. I know what they meant. Or maybe there's the off chance that they actually did mean coffee and wine. I don't know. But this just puts such a disgusting like image and taste in my head that I had to put it in here.
It also reminds me of like maybe they've never had either, and like they just assume that this is what it would be like.
I mean, that kind of is the vibe in a way, right? Because like,
Yeah,
I remember like when I was like 15 years old, and I would like hear a jazz song, and like, oh yeah, this would go real good with like at a smoky bar or whatever. You know what? I've never actually been to a jazz lounge. I've seen them in movies. Do those even exist anymore? I don't know. So I guess I'm also part of the problem. But yeah, it does have that vibe of like, I'm a teenager and I'm going to talk about coffee and wine while listening to jazz.
There was a guy that I used to play Halo 3 with who would say that he would put Jameson in his coffee every morning. And I was like, I don't think you're doing that. Like I think you just want to sound cool. I don't think you're actually doing that. He's like, yeah, I just need that little. I mean, maybe he was just like a raging alcoholic, but I also think he was like 16 or something. So
yeah.
Well, I saved my final comment for last, and you'll see why, because I think this is, first of all, it's a very loaded comment. We'll break it down, but I think this is perhaps the nerdiest comment in the history of the show.
I mean, even the username is already on that level, yeah.
I mean, this comes to us from YouTube user Holy Knight Vader 999, which Holy Knight and Vader is already pretty stupid and dorky, but then like the 999, I guess because it's supposed to evoke like an upside down 666.
Oh, I wasn't thinking about that. Yeah, you're right. That's absolutely what that's going for.
Yeah, like this is so like, you know, this is totally like playing Jedi Knight Academy online. Like this would be a username you would see on that game or something. It just, wow. It took my breath away seeing that username. They commented on Novaria merely 6 months ago. There is somebody who, in the year of our Lord 2025, is out there with the username Holy Knight Vader 999. Like, if this were, you know, somebody that, you know, made this account in, you know, 2002 or something, I would kind of get it. But, like, still having that and using it in 2025 and commenting on a Mass Effect 1 song within the past half year is insane. Insane. But the comment itself is even more insane. And, you know, please consider hearing this in the voice of Darth Vader, James Earl Jones. Novaria, a civilized exterior hiding a dark, immoral underbelly. Fitting that it's a cold planet. It's like if Hoth was owned by 5 different flavors of the Trade Federation.
I'm mostly not like against this comment up until that last sentence, because I don't really understand. It's like if Hoth was owned by 5 different flavors of the Trade Federation. Maybe there's something that if I played Mass Effect that would make more sense to me, but
no,
yeah,
not really.
Okay, that just sounds like gibberish. That sounds like keyboard warrior. Like I'm typing something. I think I'm way cooler sounding than I am, kind of thing.
Yeah, like he's right about it being like a civilized exterior hiding a dark, immoral underbelly or whatever. Fitting that it's a cold planet is so funny. Like it's so, like it's like he's like looking to the horizon. And I love that like he starts the comment with just Novaria. Like he's like monologuing in the YouTube comments. I'm like, this is crazy, man. This is the craziest thing. I was obsessed with it the second I saw it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Because, yeah, when I was reading the comments that you put in here, I was like, what is this one? Like, I'm like, this just must be Star Wars stuff that Seth has to explain to me. But no, I think I understood all the Star Wars stuff. It's just gibberish, basically.
I mean, yeah, like, Hoth is a cold planet, and then the Trade Federation is an immoral entity.
Oh, yeah. No, I know Hoth and the Trade Federation. I just thought there would be more to it than that based off of the wording and everything.
Absolutely not. Nope.
That's kind of the perfect YouTube comment. Distills it all down into just overblown, like, pomp and gas dressed up in a Star Wars username, basically. Yeah, perfect. With that said, That was your YouTube comment oversharing corner for this episode. We have no voicemails, so I guess I will let Seth just take over for the Patreon shoutouts.
Sure. Yeah. And if you do want to send in voicemails, please do. We love your voicemails. You can send them in to bitharmonypod@gmail.com. You can also call in to our BitHarmony hotline. You can call in at 216-230-8540. As a quick note, do try to keep your voicemails to under 3 minutes because you'll be cut off otherwise. But yes, we love your voicemails. Send them on in. We'll play them on the show.
I'll note real quick, maybe part of the reason we don't have voicemails, I think I forgot to shout out sending in voicemails of the past like 2 episodes. So that's probably
we were going on a break too. So
yeah. But good to keep those contacts in mind, the email and the phone number, because we will be having you send in any 2025 favorite video game music stuff pretty soon. I'll be sending out notifications to the Discord probably in the next like 2 weeks about what you should do for that kind of thing when we get to that episode. So keep that stuff in mind.
Keep it in mind, and this is also why we try to let you guys know about our upcoming episodes, so that if you do want to sound off about, like our next episode is Night in the Woods, and then Angeline Era and stuff. So like, if you do want to sound off on any of those episodes specifically, you can go ahead and get those voicemails in and just let us know, and we'll add them to those episodes. So that's exactly why we do it. But yes, support on Patreon as well to get early access to the show and other exclusive perks. And join the ranks of these fine folks. BitHarmony is made possible by viewers like you. Thank you. Thank you so much to our Triforce tier supporters, Adam Caparello, Bowza, Quagmire, Dan and Luma, Danielina Hosa, SJZ, Foolish Fuji, John Cummins, Josh Vaughn, Ligerwoods 330, and Uncle Randy. And thank you so much to our Golden Banana tier supporters, Big Dogs Only, Bill Tucker, Gamer Jason, Hopple, John32, Liam D, Old Drake, Phelan Ward, Rob Yapel, Shy Guy, thank you Shy Guy, Sean Ashton, Sparky, and Steven Keller. We really, really appreciate y'all for your continued love and support on Patreon. Head on over to patreon.com/allinmedia. Links are in the show notes, and do consider supporting us there. You get a bunch of exclusive mini episodes of BitHarmony there. Like I said, you get early access to the show and a bunch of other stuff too. And you can also check out a 7-day free trial if you'd like to see what all the fuss is about. So thanks for doing that.
Yeah, thank you for all the support. As always, really, really, truly appreciate it. Genuinely helps the show both monetarily and just emotionally. It's nice to know that people listen. Frankly,
we need this.
Yeah, sometimes you genuinely need this.
This is all I have.
It's been a stressful year, and for me in particular. Dude. So yeah, Hey, I'll just say, the people's reactions to the quiz show episode were genuinely fun and appreciated. No haikus this episode, just didn't seem. We mostly stick those on the game specific episodes. So then your outro is going to be Irita's theme from Pokemon Legends Arceus, composed by Go Ichinose, Hitomi Sato, and Hiromitsu Maiba. Much like how we opened with Sonic and talked about how we've never done a Sonic episode, we are closing with Pokemon, and we have never done a Pokemon episode. I think these facts are just very funny to me. Arita's theme isn't inherently winter theme, but to me it gives off like a winter vibe. It's just how I wanted to end the show. Again, sue me, make your own show, whatever. This is Arita's theme for Pokemon Legends Arceus. We'll catch you next time for Night in the Woods. See ya. Bye.